Let's start the games. The last group of the round of 16, Group D, Undead Mirror to start things off. The best Undead Mirror possible with 1-0 versus Happy. I have heard from a couple of Europeans that the ping 2 netties at the moment isn't the best, and it's a show us here Happy with a little bug going into this, but Happy maybe even the favorite as far as we've seen recently. Whenever they meet, either online or offline, Happy was able to defeat the Necromancer. Will this change here in the New Year's Cup? That is the big question.
And how's he gonna play? 1-0, interestingly, he's been trying different styles. He started off playing standard against Happy for the most part, with the exception of a couple of Nagas. Then he went completely off meta with Dreadlord and Lich first, fast expansions. That didn't work. Then he went back to standard and with quite a bit of Naga. And that looked pretty good until Happy started playing Naga himself and beat him at his own game. Which was on this map, Amazonia, by the way.
Yes, and we have seen 1-0 in the past in Undead Mirrors. Not looking too strong. Back in NWL days, he lost series to Lucifer. Not too long ago in the Huya Cup, he was struggling against TBC, which, judging from the names, this shouldn't happen at all. So maybe he was just saving tag. I mean, it was a weird series with the Firelord third. Maybe a misclick, maybe some 1-0 troll plays. Today here, we should see the standard builds. And the second try to start this game is working a lot better. We start off on Amazonia.
I'm really interested to see what we're gonna be experiencing here. From Happy, of course, not really. Pretty much set in stone, unless he wants to be counter-aggressive with the Naga. The Russian, the back-to-back WGL finalist, starting in the top right in the blue, 1-0, bottom left in the red. And I must say I was kind of expecting a Lich perhaps here. This is a decent Lich Ghouls map, whether you want to go all-out Ghouls from...
Ooh, you're unfortunately gone. Not sure what's happening. Everything else seems to be alright.
Wait, can you hear me?
Ah, there you are.
Huh. That's weird.
Discord hiccup, but please continue.
Thank you, Black Link, with a €10 donation. I think Neo will get destroyed by Remo next week at Rocket Beans. Hell yeah, bro. Not even gonna be close. How many questions are we gonna get, by the way?
I don't know. It's like 3 categories. So it's a XXL version.
Like, you've been asking me a couple of these questions, and I never a single time was sure. I always had to guess.
Yeah.
And I think most of the time I was wrong. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Anyways, let's take a look at the builds here. Happy, obviously, playing the Ted Fiend build. And yeah, 1-0 as well. No Lich here, no Ghoul play. Sticking with the standard. Now, it was in their recent encounter here on AZ. Hyper-aggressive play by 1-0, and then following that up with a Naga. And here is where Happy went for the counter Naga. Of course, that is further down the road. We're still pretty far away from tier 2. But I'm certain that both these players are thinking of that option already. And some mind games might be going on here as well. How is he going to try to counter me having that knowledge? What am I supposed to do? What's the optimal play? This is, after all, Undead Mirror on the very, very highest level.
Yes, we see a little difference already in the early game. 1-0, no 6th Acolyte. Happy already going out on that map, killing that little rabbit to summon some skeletons. 1-0 is just doing it with the DK now, so they pass each other on the opposite side of the maps to just creep the trolls. Everything else would be a big surprise. Thank you very much for the first sub of the day. RTS Monochrome for the 26th month in a row. A buddy called the Happy vs. Infi finale from the Huya Cup the best and most skillful series he has ever seen.
That's certainly not very wrong. They both played really, really well, especially Infi. I mean, you guys might know, I'm not the biggest fan of tanks, but when you play like that, you certainly deserve to win.
Certainly donation message to trigger some balanced comments in chat already, but please keep it calm.
Chat trying to trigger chat? No, Neo. That never happens.
Mental of Intelligence for the Russian. The only Westerner in this tournament. For China, by the way, it didn't go too well yet. Only 2 players in the round of 8, that is Fly and Infi, TH and Fortitude, both eliminated, and WFC yesterday. And with 1-0, the only remaining Chinese, this country is struggling a bit in the New Year's Cup.
Yeah, especially with TH not making it through, which was such a big surprise. Out in last place, man. I would not have won that bet. By the way, so far this early game, obviously pretty tame. No aggression yet. Oh, that may have been a lightning shield denied by 1-0. I'm not quite sure. And yeah, 1-0 playing up, changing up his early game playstyle. Thinking back to the last time they played AZ, as I mentioned towards the early stages, he was hyper aggressive, trying to stop Happy from creeping as much as possible, and with that also slowing down his own creeping quite immensely. This time switching it up completely, just going purely creeping, so it's creep festivities here so far. And that looks like not a very likely Naga play. I pointed that out before. Naga normally always the strongest when weak heroes are involved, because the higher the hero levels rise, the more tanky they become, and the more, you know, coil hurts and fiends can get supported. If the Naga arise on tier 2 and enemy heroes are level 1, that's the dream! But there's been a lot of creeping going on, so Happy, in fact, is level 3 with, by the way, a magnificent inventory.
Also, this lightning shield creep was picture perfect. So many skeletons remaining to start this one, to take out the rogue fast enough. Then moving the fiends in the middle of the other 2 creeps, that was just perfect. 1-0 with the claw now as well. Gets level 3 himself, but the experience advantage goes with Happy.
Oh my god, that lich is gonna be super lich.
Yeah, that's gonna be a welcoming gift for the lich. They are best friends right from the start.
Thankfully, 1-0 finally found a claw. But he's still gonna have the much weaker lich. What's he getting here? Soapy Mask. Okay, that's nice for the mana sustain. But it doesn't help with the right-click damage. And of course, lich is damage dealer number 1. Happy's coming in for the creep jack. DK completely out of mana. You don't want to be forced to lose the TP so early. Happy coming in with a block from the Fiend as well. How good is it? Almost impossible to block this DK as he's so fast. And the DK will get past. Oh, he runs back into the block. Big mistake by 1-0. That might, in fact, cost the TP now. A few more Fiend shots. Fiend starter stepping. Long range shots coming in. Oh my god, there they fly. Whew, 12 HP. Okay.
Calculated. Now the lich is out. Happy with the great early game. Faster creeping, better inventory. DK by 1-0, completely low. Has to go for a potion. Can still queue the tier 3 and the slaughterhouse. But that cost 3/4 of a Fiend that he won't get. And now the lich joins the fun. Happy gets the remainder of this creep spot here. Not sure if he moved the DK out of position. Yes, he did. So the first bit of experience for that lich. And like right away, plus 15 damage. That's insane. 1-0 has to take some risks to get back into this game.
But pretty sloppy macro mistake here by Happy. He brought the lich out from the main and didn't bring Rod of Necromancy. That makes creeping very, very difficult. Happy is probably the undead who tries to save on rods the most out of all top undeads, certainly. So this might be intentional, but I don't think it is. But perhaps that is in fact intentional. Who knows? It is Happy after all. So both creeping the enemy natural. 1 of mana steal for Happy, level 2 for the lich, and 1-0 gets the big invul. Big invul certainly very nice. But you can buy an invul, you can't buy mana. Well, that's not true. But yeah. Honestly, big invul versus small invul doesn't make the biggest difference, because it's all about silence and then focus, and whether you survive the silence timing with a big invul or a small invul, normally not the biggest difference maker. But yeah, Happy so far with a small lead this game. Better items overall. A little bit better mana situation, I believe. But it's still certainly very even this game.
Tier 3 finished. 1-0 was at the tavern. Is this the Fire Lord build again?
No way, dude.
No, I'm just joking, of course. This is gonna be a double Dark Ranger. Here's the first one.
But what about the Kinder Surprise skill of what's it called again? Soulburn.
You can joke all you want, but you know that was fun to watch.
Happy did not buy an invul yet, by the way. That is dangerous for the Lich, especially with his inventory. 1-0 is going to be greatly incentivized to attack that Lich. So
and he has no Dark
quite
Ranger yet.
risky.
So quite some trouble for Happy at the moment. Also, the Lich is more progress for the Chinese. So you don't want to fight a level 2 Nova. Oh,
Perfect level 3 with 501 experience. That looks nice.
sweet.
Alright, stronger Lich level versus stronger Lich inventory. What's gonna work out better? Dude, I can't believe Happy's going in here without an invul.
Yeah, he is really brave. Also, more skeletons. DK in silence at the moment. Happy's Fiend Micro is good, but the statue little out position. This one as well. First kill, whoa, denied by Dark Ritual. And the coil is ready, so Happy losing only 1 Fiend, but not donating any experience.
Yeah, that kind of evens out the early game a little bit.
Yeah.
Happy needs to get an invul, though. If he falls back to the main now to regroup, then 1-0 could steal the invul over at the shop, and with that might get map control.
Where did 1-0 get this experience advantage? I guess the double green, but DK is a level higher, Lich is a level higher. Oh, and he does steal the invul. That's how you get back into an undead mirror.
Yeah. Strange choice by Happy to completely skip that invul. Didn't even get a heal pot from the shop. It's kind of like the poor man's invul. Okay, in we go. Silence on the back line. 1-0. Not silencing the DK, so we're Happy still has the coils to work with. Oh, Lich in trouble! But he receives the coil there as well. Nova lands for Happy, but only level 1 Nova, however, enough for the kill. Nova way too late onto the Fiend there on Happy's side, but the right click still good enough. But 1-0 had to commit in deep for this Fiend kill, so now not in the best position anymore. Next Nova hits, that level 2 Nova helping out a ton. Coil comes in time on both sides. Mana's being expended, obviously, but Happy's mana so far looking better. 1-0 now going for the first hero DK, but doesn't find the kill. Lich now perhaps in trouble as well. Invul triggered already on the Dark Ranger. She was getting dangerously low. And speaking of dangerously low, the DK's mana is too low. 1-0 can't fight anymore. He's TPing out, gets one more Fiend at least.
He had the mana for the Nova just barely on the Lich, but then the TP came. Fascinating micro battles between them. 1-0 decided to go for an expansion. Happy wants to cancel it, but 1-0 is immediately back into action. 46 supply against 48. Looking decent for the Necromancer. The Wand of Mana Stealing has been consumed already. DK is still hurt for the Russian, but he kills Expansion and Acolytes.
That was very important for 1-0 there to not lose too many Fiends, because if Happy hits the double level ups to level 4 DK and level 3 Lich, that's a big, big deal. Destroyer coming in now between these two in the mirrors. We have seen more and more Destroyers and fewer Banshees. That has mostly to do with timings, as the Banshee transition takes a lot longer with Temple plus at least 3 Banshees plus Adept training, whereas for Destroyers, you just need the upgrade.
Invul potion for Happy, finally. And the green spot was crept as well. It is still not level 3. 1 skeleton gives him Nova 2.
3 Fiends only versus 4 Fiends plus a Destroyer in the air. 1-0's army is looking quite a bit better. Happy's waiting for reinforcements. Oh, there is a Temple for Happy, by the way. No Temple for 1-0. He's opting for the expansion instead.
Both have a Destroyer in the air. First Nova hit. Silence is not there, only on the Dark Ranger. So he saves that Fiend for now. DK is taking heavy hits, but on the other side, eats a Nova as well. All the Fiends super low. We have Web available now for 1-0, trying to take out that 5 supply unit, but he saves it. The split's really good, but the Nova gets it, and that's level 3, and he has so much more mana to use in this fight now.
That silence by 1-0 was absolutely clutch. Triple silence on all 3 heroes. Happy couldn't use spell stack for quite a while until the next Destroyer came out. Happy with only 1 Fiend left. The DK in trouble as well. If he's TPing away, this is probably the red camp going to 1-0. TP is forced. And this fight certainly goes to the Chinese. Kind of running into the creeps. But Happy could re-engage because the DK's mana for 1-0 is pretty low. He does have the Zoe Mask, yes. But still, not endless coils.
Eats a boulder, 50 supply. That is the item for him. Medallion of Courage. Finally some damage for that Lich, or additional damage to that Lich. No, yeah, Nova onto the Fiend, not on the Lich. Could have forced the issue there, but if that's a double kill, there is another coil and no silence. Here we go.
Expansion is almost up, though. 1-0 still with the lead. A sizable lead at 55.
But the Banshees are coming, no? 2 in the main. Happy... Oh, 1, actually. I thought there was a little bit of a macro mistake, but he sees it now. Curse coming in. Does he have the Adept upgrade? Yes. Anti-magic then as well. Empty inventory for the DK. Still this invulnerability potion on the Lich. Same on 1-0 side. No one has a TP anymore.
This is certainly looking good for the Chinese right now. Finally, the Banshee arrives. But you can see the tech transition is just taking so long. 1-0, going with the easier tech options, the higher tempo play, and trying to back it up with the expansion. Differing styles here meeting between the two. As far as Fiend upgrades go, by the way, 2-0 versus 1-0. Happy with the lead here. But this is a super tough fight for Happy to take. Going in with the Nova, 1-0 takes out the Fiend, the Banshee, excuse me, right away. Anti-magic is of course helping, but the Fiend numbers just seem too low by Happy. 3 Fiends only. Aims for the first Destroyer kill, gets that one as well. Loses his own Destroyer as the coil misses. And now the DK once again pretty exposed. Happy doesn't have the chance to TP out here anymore. He's getting level 4. Death Pact could be an idea, but he has so few Fiends, this is not even going to be coming without much detriment.
Trying to force the
1-0 just has way better numbers. It's seemingly easy for him to micro this now.
And he's getting more and more income now as well. Happy loses the next Destroyer in a bit. Yeah, both lose this one. DK out of mana for Happy, and the Subi Mask is paying off really nicely now. Still 1 kill, silence on 1-0, but Happy has to retreat. Yes, anti-magic is powerful, but the numbers are overwhelming, and it's gonna be more and more and more. Main goal, second gold mine, not saturated yet, but it will be in a bit. 1-0 at 51 supply, that is not perfect. Happy did not lose a single coin to upkeep. Could expand now himself, maybe, as he's back to 50. But then he has to dodge more fights. Not an easy decision to make.
Pretty interesting. Happy does have the better super late game army. If we should see 70 versus 70 supply, Banshees are much better than Destroyers. But here again, the tempo argument comes in. They are very strong, yes, when you get to late game, but it takes long to get there. And 1-0 so far abusing this time frame pretty well. Nice Nova there by Happy going in once again, but the coil is there to save the Fiend. DK eats the Nova himself, but had the anti-magic that did protect him pretty well. Happy looking for more kills, gets another Fiend right there, as a silence was preventing the coil from the DK, I believe. And that's 1 Fiend kills for 0 so far.
2, right?
Or was it 2?
I think 2. Happy also constantly with skeletons. We don't see that for the Necromancer anymore, which is ironic, of course. Next fight. They're just right at each other's throats. Destroyer getting saved once again, but is the cooldown off? Not sure, no. 5 supply unit dies. Fiend getting saved. Oh boy, these coil battles, always so clutch. 1-0 switching the focus a little to the statues, but Happy moves them back, kills another Fiend in the bottom left.
The curse also in this scenario, by the way, if it's applied on the Lich, a really big deal. However, not yet on the Lich. Banshee is so low mana, always spamming that anti-magic, of course. Happy is staying in this game and is even in supply still. And this extended trade battles, this damage on the Lich is so powerful.
Especially if curse ends up on the level 4 Lich for 1-0. Oh, Fiend miss micro a little bit. Can't kill the Acolytes, really. Lich has no Nova at the moment, but oh, silence on the DK is forced into this invul. Almost the kill on the damage dealer. Happy with 2 hurt Fiends. That's another coil right there to save that Lich. And another Destroyer. No, saved by 1-0.
Slight mistake by Happy. Didn't kill off the Destroyer. There was certainly a chance to get that kill. 1 more kill gives level 4 for the Lich, plus 4 intelligence, and also much stronger Dark Ritual. Happy's numbers once again seem to be inferior. Can the Russian still do it? It seems like he's kind of falling apart, losing more Banshees, losing more Fiends. Down to now only 49 supply. 1-0, 55. Pushing Happy back, holding at the expansion.
Ooh, another Destroyer safe. Happy is about to lose his DK, but there is an Invo Potion. Lich has Nova. Happy playing with fire. This DK, 2 shots and he's dead. Same fate for his Fiends. He's only down to heroes and statues. Calls for the GG. 1-0 after Not the greatest early game, fighting back strong at the right idea with the expansion, not going into Banshees, and the Emperor loses map 1.
Yeah, despite that inventory, you see that rarely happen. The experience advantage made the big difference there. Level 4 DK and level 3 Lich both having an XP advantage, a level advantage, when the first engagement started rolling around. And yeah, I'm not sure why Happy fell so far behind. It was quite far in the experience. We would have to go through that replay with a fine-tooth comb to exactly analyze how that creep route looked. But it was better by 1-2-0. And once again, we see the weakness of the Banshees and their strength at the same time. When you get to 4-5 in the super late game, they're very strong. But I know I'm repeating myself here, but it's about tempo. It's about being strong at all points. If you go for Destroyer tech, you have no transitional weak points. If you go for Banshees, you do. And 1-0 abusing that timing window so nicely with the expansion, backed up by his slight level lead. Very well played by the Chinese.
Yeah, despite this great inventory, finding the necessary XP at the necessary moment, that was the key for the Chinese to have that lead. And Happy, should you take these fights when you know that you're 2 levels down, one on the DK, one on the Lich? Questionable, but what a pleasure to see these guys in a micro fight, isn't it? Like,
I wonder if just we enjoy it so much because we're undeads. I hope not. I hope everyone is. Because when you see these two play, you would never think that this is oftentimes the worst matchup in the game.
yeah, this is
When
so
other
much fun.
undeads play, it's oftentimes a snooze fest, and there's one fight, and he wins, and now the game's over, you know? But between these two, it's always so razor thin. The decisions are so important, the timings are so crisp, and the micro, of course, is galactic. So yeah, I enjoy these encounters certainly a lot. 1-0 now in the lead. Map 2, Twisted Meadows. One more map win here in this best of 3, and 1-0 will finally have gotten his victory against Happy.
Yeah, he got really desperate about this. Happy, certainly his nemesis, starting on Nettie's ladder and then into the online tournaments, into the offline tournaments. Happy was always superior. So can he close this out? Can he take the second win? This is Happy's map choice, Twisted Meadows, lots and lots of creep camps for high level, high action undead heroes, hopefully. The Russian in the upper right, 1-0 with the lead in the bottom right. What's better? Sorry to put you on the spot.
I know. I veto Twisted always, so I don't have too much first-hand experience. The Mercap is easier to creep with the pull. You can easier get level 3, but the Merchant creep can give you the better item. I think that's the biggest difference here. I don't think there's much.
Yeah, I think in this matchup it's not really important. In the Night Elf mirror, in the Human mirror, starting positions matter a lot.
Yeah.
Here, not
Undeads
too
don't
much.
like mercenaries. We are very recluse. We don't want to hire these unknown faces.
We like our familiar faces. Thank you, Hollow, for the 4-month resub, saying Keck W. Apple Skillburn for the 34-month resub, and Paperson for the 6-month also Keck W.
Yeah.
People want to trigger me
growing
today.
On you?
No.
Is it growing on you?
No.
Are you starting to like it?
Nope.
Chad,
It's
let's show Neo how nice Keck W is right now.
It's shrinking on me. But as long as you guys have fun, I won't judge you.
I think it's the #1 emote right now, but it's gonna be overtaken soon. There's always an emote evolution going on. DKs meeting in the middle. I don't remember what tournament it is because we have like a million tournaments every week.
It's
But
New Year's
when
Cup.
they met recently, I mean not this one. I mean when they met here before on Twisted. This is where Happy really destroyed 1-2-0 with his early game pressure, killing so many acolytes with perfect surrounds in the main. So this is a game that I've already seen numerous times 1-2-0 learning from massively. He is so quick now with the acolyte juggling. We saw that as well against TBC in the Huya. So Happy won't have that opening here again, it seems. Builds are mirrored with the Dead Fiends. Playstyle coming in again.
First blood goes to Happy. With the investment of a coil, it was only the little one. Sacrificing a couple of HP points for it. Who's gonna get the second? If Happy steals this one, it's not that great of an opening. With pump fake.
Oh,
not
Happy
going.
could have
for
gotten it, man. That would have been a sweet play.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1-0 here with the faster rod usage. That honestly might be a ping thing. I'm not sure. As we can see, all 4 charges already used for 1-0. Happy still with 3. That means that Happy took a little bit more damage. Can't contest too easily anymore. But this is just, you know, the early game. Little struggles and trading. As long as there's not a big experience lead or a fiend kill, honestly, nothing here really matters much. As we're gearing up for tier 2.
Bigger creep spots, especially the red ones with the Staff of Silence and Spell Shield, can help you a lot.
But looking at the experience, by the way, it's very hard even to get level 2. This smells quite a bit like Naga already.
How does a Naga smell, Remo? Do you know?
Like tuna.
Well, I like that then. 1-0 already with the second charter for Necromancy. A little bit more gold invested into this. So,
Thank you, Bashera, with the sub. Sounds like that panther from The Lion King. What was it called again? Bagheera?
Bagheera. It's from Jungle Book, by the way.
A player's force
Yeah, right.
are under attack.
Wait, did you see The Lion King or the Jungle Book?
Like the real version?
Yeah, the new one.
Jungle Book.
Because I didn't see any of them.
Yeah. Don't waste your time. Unless you want to get really, really furious, then go for it.
Naga second, here we go. 1-0 was first at the tavern, and it's not easy for Happy to get there. He lost his scouting acolyte earlier, so how to get into the middle? 1-0 denies his acolyte because he was supply blocked, which means he's on 2 fiends only for a while. But the Naga, cold arrow, level 1 against no aura, super strong.
Yeah. Really smart play by 1-0. Also the positioning. So what can Happy do to play around this now? Is he curing a Lich? Yes, he is. He can maybe steal something with a coil, but 1-0 has the same idea. Now his DK is getting slowed, and there is no vision with the skeleton as 1-0 uses that corpse for another rod of necromancy. Okay, now he has vision, but the Naga is in range of the fiends, making things so hard.
Big last hit. 1-0 doesn't give it up. Oh, the DK getting blocked. Oh, he gets the last hit though!
It was quite easy, no? 1-0
Happy's
not
gonna pay for
contesting.
that one.
Coil cooldown is off. Just has to be careful with the DK.
Oh, the Lich is coming around from the corner. Didn't bring rods, but brings the Nova. Nova!
No surprise here, though. Nova on the DK. A little greedy. Needs a coil very soon. There we go. Of course, no Fork Lightning available yet, so the damage on the Lich and the DK is very calculatable.
Who gets the statue first is the question here. Statue is a game winner in this weird scenario. Oh, the DK will have to TP. Happy slightly mismoving his Death Knight. That doesn't happen every day.
Yeah, but punished immediately. You're not allowed to make one mistake in the battle of the
that's level
undead
these
giants.
two are playing on. That's why the Mirror is pretty damn cool, if you ask me. TP being missing on Twisted, by the way, always annoying. Because you're going to be moving out in the late game to power creep, the red camps and so on. And then a run by into the main can easily happen and be very expensive.
So, how much of reliability is the Naga now compared to the Lich second pick?
If positioned well, not even that bad. I think rather the liability for 1-0 is the Lich, because the Lich is going to be coming out third, and he will need to get to level 3 somewhat soon. Getting level 3 Lich for for Happy shouldn't be too hard, he can already creep him, but the third hero Lich comes out really late for 1-0, so finding a quick level 3, not too easy. But if you have Naga with invul and good positioning, normally she is pretty, not very survivable, but somewhat survivable if you pay attention to her. And the combo of Fork Lightning plus Nova is a big kill threshold that is really hard to micro against.
We have a Lionhorn of Stormwind for Happy. That's a big one. 1-0 with Boots of Kel'Thuzad. Certainly not that lucky. And he won't get a Dark Ranger, Remo. Don't get me started. Tier 3 is done. Of course, you don't really want an orb on the Naga because of the Frost Orb. Lich will bring it then.
Dude, if 1-0 was to go Dark Ranger third, that would be hilarious. Wouldn't be very smart, though, so he's not doing it. Happy, looking to fight. The Lich is coming in with the orb.
Big advantage now. Orb advantage, Nova advantage.
Yeah, but he doesn't have too much chase potential. Only level 1 Nova. Not enough for a kill. Here comes the Dark Ranger with the silence becoming available. Suddenly, kill threat intensifies.
Still no Lich for 1-0. It's almost ready. But good timing for Happy so far.
Arrow first. What?
Oh, wow.
What? 1-0 wants to snipe this Rock Golem. He's gonna get it. Big item. Big mana, can decide games.
Big experience as well. And Happy gets it. Big healing. One of the weaker ones, for sure. Now Nova onto the Naga, of course. She cannot be coiled and her inventory is empty! Almost executing the Lich, but the coil was there. Or actually it was the potion, right? So fight-winning item for now. Oh, but the damage is so good on Happy's Lich. Coil arrives again, but Fort Lightning afterwards. There's no TP, mind you. Empty inventory.
Lots of hero focus, something we saw very little in game 1. And it's of course something the Naga also gives you, the Cold Arrow and Fog Lightning, along with the Lich. Lots of hero potential. And the first big kill of this game goes to 1-0. Takes out a Fiend, Happy falling back, still at 50 supply. Also Naga, really nice for killing statues, as the Cold Arrow works. Oh, it's gonna be the next kill, perhaps? Okay, statue build.
Not. Whew, the Emperor is struggling. For now, but it should still be a longer game. Weapon upgrades coming, attack upgrades coming. Happy at 50 supply. Small orange cam for 1-0 can still be jacked, can still be stolen, but it's not. Healed scroll for 1-0 and an invul. He cleared that shop. No experience for the Russian.
Happy doesn't have web. Oh, forgot about that. That's definitely a mistake.
I think he replaced the Fiend and so it was blocked, so he goes for it now. And 1-0 didn't lose a Fiend, so he could Q it faster.
1-0 the magic triangle of Twisted Meadows. Right there, the Merc Camp, Gold Mine, and Lab. That's like one of the most valuable real estate areas in all of Warcraft. If you creep all those camps, massive items, massive experience. And the Naga hits level 3, DK hits level 3. Big level ups for 1-0.
Again, he gets the important levels quicker than his opponent. The Lich of Happy barely touches level, like it's just level 2.25. DK is close to level 3 but doesn't have it, and so 1-0 is safe to creep this red spot now, and this is the biggest items in competitive Warcraft. Katka's Gem, nice for the Naga, I'd say.
Yeah, really good. Protects her very well. Happy finally getting us level 3 here as well. Skirt 4 times again. That seems to be his item these last couple of days.
In this matchup, of course, useless as it is in most matchups. Not pulling the DK away. We have level 2 now, so silence is available. And then this Naga second pick and counter is only silence for Happy.
A player's forces are under
No Banshee transition yet.
Position for Happy. Is he gonna walk over to the gold mine or does he skip it? The gold mine in the super late game, not the most valuable camp to take. The starting gold mines and the merchants and so on are better, but Happy does see it. Does come in. Oh, there was an Acolyte here, perhaps thinking of a sneaky expansion.
Happy shuts that down. Goes for the Fiend. They're a little further ahead from the main army. Silence arrives a little too late. Fort Lightning is nice against Fiends. Can only coil one target. Fiend dies. Fiend dies. 1-to-1 exchange so far. Oh, but the Nova
Fire in the air here for Happy. Once again, I'm not so sure what that one does. Oh, the coil misses because the Fort Lightning is coming in. This double nuke, the kill threshold is so insane. Happy's losing more and more of his army. 46 supply, only left. Triple silence there by Happy. Very nicely done. The Destroyer might be falling because of that. No, another coil comes in. Happy's wasting so much of his damage. Forced to TP out. Gets at least one more kill, but loses the Fiend himself. 1-2-0 is taking control of this game.
Oh, yes.
In a great position now as well to creep up more and more, to rise in levels more and more. Did he actually out-level the Lich with... He did. Oh my god. His Lich third is higher level than Happy's Lich second.
120 is playing a phenomenal game. That dispel on the triple silence was so fast and so clutch. But I think he won the fight before. That was just a little extra bonbon at the end. Haven't seen Happy struggle that hard in quite some time. Usually it's the other way around. And he gets the second red spot.
Normally, Happy never struggles against anyone in Undead Mirror, but 120 is the exception. The funny thing is, 120 seems to struggle against everyone in Undead Mirror, but against Happy, he turns it up to 11.
Players' forces are under
Yeah,
attack.
it's about prestige by now. For like half a year, he's not able to take a series off of Happy. And 120, you know, he has this... He feels like a star. He acts a little bit like a star. So that could hurt his ego a bit. That there's one player that he can't beat.
Well, it looks like he can beat him today. This game is looking really good for him. Needs to make sure, though, he doesn't get complacent. 120 is expanding right now and was not going into upkeep for a little while. Now he does. Needs to make sure he has the numbers that he requires. And we can see super heavy power creeping by 120, getting from one camp to the next. Happy was creeping on the right-hand side. There's not too many camps left there. So Happy has 3 levels. That's not bad. But we have 4 levels, which are all big level advantages for 120. The level 2 Cold Arrow might be one of the most underrated spells actually in the game. It's such a sick slow, which especially for sniping fiends is really good.
And of course, it's a slow that you can't dispel, unlike the other slows. Happy is finding hilarious bit of accuracy. Also a nice upgrade. We have the Lion Horn, by the way, on 120 side. There's another creep jack right here. No TP on Happy. Deciding fight? Maybe. Invo Potion on the Naga. Big damage on the DK. Weapon on both sides. Silence. No coil available. Who's going to get the kills? 120 is getting the first feed. 120 is getting the second feed. There is no coil available to save these two. Oh my! Dominating fight for the Chinese again.
Yeah, this seems to be all but over. Happy has basically no fiends left. 120 with so much supply. GG, it finally happened. 120 takes out Happy in a best of 3. Moves on the upper bracket. Happy still alive in the lower bracket.
True that, but that was an exclamation mark by 120. After this weird series against TBC, he finally took the win, and he finally was able, and it seemed rather easy. The only troublesome moments were the first 4 minutes on AZ, maybe 5, but it felt like he had just the better game plans, the better creep routes, and in most fights, also the better execution.
I wouldn't say that he out-microed Happy.
No, I won't go that far. Just, you know, on this level, being a little bit better at making 1 or 2 mistakes less makes a difference.
I think Happy still isn't very used to this Naga second play. I thought he had found the perfect answer previously, but on TM, again, it worked out so well. The Fork Lightning Nova combo is actually so good against Fiends. And once again, I'm questioning, why is Happy going into the Destroyers himself against Dark Ranger? That does make sense, but against Naga, that does nothing. Again, it has to do with tempo. It has to do with having presence on the map and stuff, and Banshees take a long time. But if there is a map to play passively and evade your opponent and buy time and creep around the map, then it's twisted. That TP being lost early may have had something to do with that. Interesting Undead Mirror, once again, as always, between the two. And yeah, that must be feeling good for 120. Finally, he gets that win.
Yeah. To say a little bit about this, as we said in the very early moments, the ping on Netties at the moment from Europe is unusually high. So maybe that had to do something with it as well. But
yeah.
Nonetheless, great performance by 120. It was cool to see how he got smacked in the first series against Happy and then got better and better and better to finally claim the win. Our second winner bracket semifinal is coming up after a tiny little break. It's gonna be 2 Koreans. Remind versus Chimiko. Old school versus new school. Stay tuned as the Undeads are coming right after again.